Hey guys! Thanks for joining us. I'm Raquel.
I'm Jake.
And this is Don't You Know.
What was that? What was that one? The long Don't You Know. That's not how we do it.
That's how you do it sometimes. I was trying to match you.
Remember when I shouted that one time? What episode was that?
I don't know.
I committed. I screamed it through the house.
There was one time where you're like, I don't know, you were trying to be all sexy about it because it was Valentine's Day episode.
I'm always sexy about it.
Sure.
That's funny.
Let's see. Okay, let's get into updates with our podcast, which is none. We have no updates for our podcast.
No updates for podcast.
On. No, just kidding.
Okay.
Well, let's see. We have California in the lead, like a really, really big lead.
Well, it's a big state. Really big state.
Actually, I think a couple of my friends have been like binging on it.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah?
just one friend.
Well, thanks for listening, that one friend. We really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Here's a shout out to that one friend. You know who you are, and I bet you feel real special in your little chest heart right now, don't you? You're like, oh, he's talking about me. He doesn't even know me. Yeah, I am talking about you, and the rest of you listen. I'm talking about you too. Thank you all.
Yeah, we do have Michigan catching up too, though.
Michigan, so, cool. They're on a mission to be Michigan.
Yeah, but California still has a very, very large lead. So for your listener in Michigan, you gotta listen more.
Just keep putting it on repeat, like while you sleep. You really bolster your numbers.
Okay, so we have that. I don't know. Have we mentioned a listener in, what is it? Something with the C. Czech
in Bosnia-Herzegovina?
We haven't had that listener since the one. I guess they didn't like us.
I've got a theory that it's the same person using some sort of proxy, and they're mirroring their internet connection to go to different countries. And if that's you, well, you're still a hero.
You're still a hero.
But I don't know. I don't know one way or the other.
You should do easier to pronounce countries, because I struggle with them.
I don't know if you pick them if it's a proxy. I got no idea.
I don't know.
And I'm sure they're easy to pronounce in their own language, goes. You know? Don't be such an American. Goodness. I'm just kidding. Do be an American. Look, I got American flag right there.
Booyah.
Now we thank you all for listening.
Let's go ahead and get started, because we had a break, so we should actually have a lot of updates, right? Did we have a break? No, we already did our break.
Yeah, we did our break, then we came back in.
So, never mind. We probably won't have a lot of updates then, maybe.
I've got an update. So I had a lesson in both...
Wait, Jacob, from now on, we have to start our stories with, you see, what had happened was...
You see, what had happened was, there was a predator loose in my house. I had a ball python go missing for about 3 days.
Oh my god!
And so it all goes back to when I let the snake out. I don't want to scare the snake or anything. I'm not like I can go in there and just pick up the little log and pick him up, but she doesn't really like that. So I'll open the tank and let her poke her head out and come out and explore. And then I'll come back and be like, oh, look at you on top of the tank. Look at you. And then I'll pick her up and she's fine. Well, 3 days ago I did that and I went to go play video games or something. I don't remember. 4 hours later, I come back to an empty tank and go, oh no, we've made a terrible mistake. A mistake. And I wasn't too panicked because it's not like it's venomous or anything. It's just going to wander around and find some hidey space and just stay there for a while. But I'm like, I do have to get it back. So I put the tank in the middle of the floor because it's got the heat pad and everything. So I was hoping she would come back to it. Well, she didn't. So finally, I decide that with some help from my lovely girlfriend that we're going to go through and tear the room apart and look for this missing snake. And so I pull the bed, the mattress up and the box spring up, and I'm looking at it through all this. I got so much stuff under my bed because I just put stuff there that I don't use, and there's so much stuff. She's probably in one of these boxes or something. Nope, wasn't there. So I go to the closet, which is also just packed full of stuff, boxes and things, and looking through old
Jacob,
blacksmith. Yeah.
Monsters are able to go into your closet or your bed now.
Yeah, I know they are too.
You took all their hiding spices, hiding spots.
Yeah, no, I did have a monster in there. Going through all this stuff, pulling out old blacksmithing projects because that's one random skill that I have. Going through that, looking at old just different stuff. Finally, in proper Toy Story Woody style, I pull an
I saw this on Facebook today.
You did see it. So you already know the story. I pull an old boot out of my closet and I kind of toss it. And I was like, wait, that boot felt heavier than the other one. I didn't toss it hard. I just kind of like tossed it like a few feet or so. And I was like, wait a second. And I pulled very carefully because it's a snake. And I pulled a little tongue of the boot back, and there's the pattern of a ball python. I'm like, there's a snake in my boot. That was pretty funny. Of all places, all the boxes, all the like dirty, like laundry I have all over my room because, super bachelor. Of all the places, the snake went into the boot just like Toy Story. I thought that was hilarious. So in the words of my uncle, your snake's a girl, right? Yes. She liked that corn chip smell. What? What does that mean? He always says. Like, if the cat, like, is playing with the foot or whatever, he's always like, that cat just likes that corn chip smell. I have very clean shoes, thank you. I don't, like, particularly pay attention to my foot hygiene, but I don't often have stinky feet. Just fun trivia. Next topic. I'm usually pretty clean. I'm a very well-groomed,
usually pretty
metrosexual man, Anyway, I don't get pedicures, though. I'm sure they're fine, but I just don't really need them. I don't even have, like my skin didn't get ashy or my heels or anything. I got good feet. Those boots don't stink.
I think my dad gets pedicures every once in a while.
Nice. I'm sure he wants that broadcasted to America and the world.
Yeah. we tried to get Frankie to do one, because he had, like an ingrown toenail.
Yeah. I'm sure they're great.
You could go to pedicure.
Yeah, no, I'm
Apparently one way to do is to pedicure. I was like, okay.
No, yeah, I'm sure they're great. I've just never got one. I don't want to spend the money.
I've never
on that
got
sort
one
of either.
Well, I'm like, I never got one because I don't like people touching my feet. So that's a no-go.
That's right.
That doesn't work.
Anyway.
Okay. Any other updates?
I've been playing Apex Legends. Season 4 is out, and it's pretty doggone fun. This is the game I played a lot. I played 300 games. It's a battle royale, so you got 60 people in teams of 3, so 20 teams. You drop out of a big ship, and you jetpack down to the ground.
Fortnite?
It's not Fortnite. It's not Fortnite. You know Apex. We've talked about Apex before.
I know.
I forget. My bad. Anyway,
but you haven't described anything different from Fortnite yet. The game is, and then you describe Fortnite.
It's a spaceship. It's not a school bus. There's no dancing. The stupid numbers aren't in a dumb font. There's, like, most of the people on voice comms are grown men, not squeakers. And if you play Fortnite, just stop listening to the podcast. I don't even care. Literally, just stop it.
I care.
And pick a real game. I'm a grown man. Play a real game.
I care.
Sorry.
Like Minecraft.
That's different. Minecraft is a pure, wholesome art. Anyway, my brothers and I have been playing this game a lot, and I was so bad at it that I just stopped playing, and I had to I had this whole discussion in my head that I'm getting old and my brain is getting slow and I'm just inherently bad at video games now and I'm losing my edge and I was getting really sad. And
what?
Yeah, no, I was really getting sad. I was like, I'm usually good at any game I pick up because your boy's
you should
pretty
just
sharp.
Played with me, then you would feel good.
No, because we're on the same team and we would have got lost hard. This game's hard.
But you would have been like, oh, look at that kill death ratio. It's
no, because I'll be going back to save you and then we'll both just get gunned down. it'd be one person versus 3 people and then one person dies. And then one person versus 3 people.
You aren't clutch?
I don't want to hear any trash talking until you play that game. It is very hard and
I've been waiting. Where have you been at?
Let's boot it up right after this. I will... Yeah. Anyway, if I could finish my story, my brothers and I have been playing this game hard. Practice, build the strategies and get good and do the training and put in hours.
Wait, hold on. Do the trading.
Training, practicing.
Training.
Yeah.
Oh, this said trading. I was like, wait, what?
No, we're going into the firing range and we're learning what strategies to do and reading up on your characters and what their little passive abilities are and stuff. You have to know all your stuff if you're going to beat 60 other people. We finally won and it felt so good. Cause man, we had been playing 8-hour shifts at it.
Oh my god.
My girlfriend could attest. I had to get told to back off on the Apex a little bit, but But respectfully,
Good job.
we had a good, responsible conversation. No, I just it was not a responsible conversation. She threw stuff at me. You don't want to know the kinds of things she throws at me.
I don't believe
I'm
it.
teasing. This is not a. I'm just teasing. She's right here. You can shout if you want. Anyway, she's just giggling. Long story short, we won, and it feels good. And I've been playing different characters, and I've been playing more aggressively and stuff, and it feels good. And that's really all I got. Really,
That's
nothing too much else. Shout out to Deanna because it's her birthday. Just happened to be her birthday by the time this comes out. So
Ooh. Actually, it will have her birthday will have already passed.
that's what I said.
You said right. Her birthday will be right when this comes out. It'll be have already passed because this is coming out next week.
I said it will have been her birthday after we have Anyway, way to just ruin my shout out. Thank you. That's it. I'm gone.
Don't try to add a date to it. Just be like happy birthday.
I was gonna like drop the headphones and fuck off. No. I'm just kidding. How about you? What are you? Back on track. What are your updates?
Okay, let's see. I had a nice relaxing Saturday.
Nice relaxing
did
Saturday.
Laundry, and I was gonna do other stuff, but I procrastinated. Sunday I did a pop
Procrastinators
meetup.
unite tomorrow, maybe.
Sunday I went to do a pop meetup. Then I saw a movie, which
Wait,
I'll
to
talk
do a
about
what?
when we do pop meetup. Funko Pop. Selling pop.
I thought you said pot, like the marijuanas.
Oh yeah, we did that too. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, you're in LA, but I didn't know you were into that.
No. Well, I also can't do it for my work, so I
Right,
don't.
touche. Anyway, yeah, pops, Funko Pops.
So, yeah, so I did that. What else did I guess I didn't do much during the week. I have a lot more stuff coming up this week, so next recording will be full of stuff.
Nice.
But I do have a lot of stuff film-wise.
Film-wise, okay. Yeah, let's move straight
Let's
on to
do
that.
Okay. So, I saw Birds of Prey.
Nice. How was that?
It was so good.
Was it good? I'm not interested at all. Changing my mind.
So it is okay. So it's kind of mixed. So actually one of my coworkers and I were talking about it today, and he didn't like it, and he was like it wasn't serious enough. And the thing is you can't go into the movie expecting it to be a superhero movie because it's not.
Superhero movies
Harley
aren't
Quinn.
serious. They're fake make-believe. Just like this movie. Sorry. I'll calm down.
Anyways, so, and the thing with what I really enjoyed about it is it's almost like a story that's told by Harley Quinn. And it is like kind of chaotic, and that's what you expect from a story that's told by Harley Quinn. Like, it doesn't flow in order. She goes, and she starts talking about it, and then she'll like stop and be like, oh wait, and then she goes back and like does this whole different, like it has a whole different scene with this other character doing the backstory of this character.
Oh, so it like builds on top of each other.
Yeah, so it's
That's
not
kinda
linear.
Cool.
It's
I
not
like
linear, but that
non-linear
makes sense.
movies.
See, I don't tend to because then I kind of start to like get confused what's kind of going on. But for this, where it is like a story that's told by pretty much someone who is like unstable and probably ADHD, that makes total sense. Like even if I were to tell a story, I'd probably like be telling it and then stop in the middle of it and be like, oh wait, I forgot to tell you this real quick. And I would go back. I mean, you just look at our other podcast episodes. We have so many tangents.
Right. I did it earlier. I was like, okay, going back. But I do it at the beginning and I collect my thoughts. And if I was spending millions of dollars making a movie, I would put it online.
But what I'm saying though is like for someone who is unstable like this, it makes sense that has it, and it just adds to the feel that this is Harley Quinn telling the story. It makes it seem like she's telling the story.
It's just more real.
More than someone narrating.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool.
And then it was very funny. There was a lot of slapstick comedy, which I think you like.
No, I don't tend to like. I like more.
Oh, I thought you did.
I like less visual. I like some, but I'm not big into it. I would never really watch the Three Stooges, you know? I was always more into like stand-up, I guess. I don't know. And
then like sometimes I was laughing just because she was laughing. I don't know what it was. Just see her laughing made me laugh.
Nice.
And then
contagious laughter.
Yeah, it had really good action in it too. There's this. I'm trying to decide if it's. I don't think it's gonna ruin anything because obviously one of Harley Quinn's like weapon of choice is a bat.
Come on, you can't spoil this movie. This is gonna be a modern classic, surely. People will be watching this in class for years to come.
Sure. Anyways, so there is a scene where she's fighting with the bat, and like the moves, like it's not just swinging. It's like all the like fancy. Like, have you seen people who, like, baseball players, and they do, like, the fancy tricks, and then they end up, like, hitting the ball at the end or whatever? It's kind of like that.
I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she was kind of doing all these fancy tricks while fighting.
It's funny because
it was awesome.
When you said fighting a bat, I was like, fighting with the bat. It sounded like you said fighting with the bat, like Batman.
Yeah.
I was confused.
Nah, a bat.
A bat, I understand.
So that was really awesome. I finished... So, Harley Quinn animation, the first season just finished. And I finished that, and I was so sad. And then I saw something on DC Universe that the second season is coming in April. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah, right around the corner.
So, it was really good ending. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that whole season. And I think that just added to Birds of Prey, because I was kind of, like, already in this, like, Harley Quinn hype, because that animation cartoon is, like, awesome.
Nice.
And so I was like, oh. And so when I came into it, I was expecting comedy, because that's kind of how this cartoon was.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were expecting, like, action and seriousness, no. Let's see. Ooh, so you remember how I talked about that anime that was, like, Haikyuu or something, whatever it is?
Something like that. Remind me of the premise?
Yeah. They were playing volleyball.
Okay, yeah.
I was, like, saying something about the name and how I wasn't sure what it meant or whatever. I was like, I don't understand how it's pronounced because I never hear them say it, and I don't actually know what it means, and I don't know what the premises of it is to the anime. And I looked it up, and it means volleyball in Japanese.
Ah, well, that's
why.
clear. Anybody listening who speaks Japanese was like facepalming hard last episode then.
Okay, and then I got two more things. I was watching Fuuka, I think is how it's pronounced. That was actually pretty good. It is only like a 1 season anime, and then like that's it. They could have done a continuation, but it really like everything was solved within that first.
Yeah, like
season.
A little mini series then.
Yeah, and it was pretty good. I realized sometimes I have a lot of problems with a lot of these romantic comedies for anime, because it always seems like you have a love triangle, and it's the childhood friend, and then the new love interest.
It's just that's the cliche, eh?
Yeah, and in the anime, it's always the new love interest that wins. I never see the childhood friend win. I don't think I've seen an anime where the childhood friend wins.
That's because nice guys finish last. If you're crushing on the friend you've had since elementary school, you're not gonna win. Just give up. Just give up.
It makes me feel so sad. A lot of times it's not. It's not. A lot of times it's not like they've been crushing and been friends for all the times. It's usually like a childhood friend that they've been crushing on, and the person even liked them back. But then there was like some type of separation, and then they meet back up. They're reunited. But they already have a new love interest, and so now it's like this whole kind of almost like a new kind of thing. And they always choose the new love interest. It makes me just so sad. I don't know. Like with this one, I was kind of like, I kind of knew they were going to end up together, new love interest, but I was kind of hoping for the other one. Because I was like, I like these two together better.
You're rooting. You were shipping them. Don't worry, there's probably tons of fan fiction that you can find that'll support your theory. Probably.
And then the last thing, which I don't even know what it's called, I was just like looking for something, and I probably will not watch it again. And it was so funny. I looked at the anime, and I kind of briefly read the summary. And I was like, oh, that sounds kind of interesting. And I like downloaded a couple episodes on Netflix so I could watch it. And then I was like watching it. I was like, this is a kid's cartoon.
That's kind of funny.
This is like a legit kid's anime. They're like, oh, with the power of love. And like, it's a magical girl thing. And they're like, oh, we have to protect people from feeling hopeless and fill them with hope. And I'm like, oh my god. I downloaded a couple episodes of this, and like, I wish I had seen like an episode first before I downloaded a couple of episodes of this, so I could take it off. Because like, I'm not interested in this at all. I tried to watch like 2 or 3 episodes, and I was like, this is awful.
I've done that before with this show, where I was trying it out. It was real popular. A lot of people were talking about it. I was like, all right, I'll give it a listen. or I watched rather, and I was like, yeah, this is just not for me. I won't say it was bad. I'm sure if you were into that stuff, I can't even remember what it was. I'm sure if you're into that,
this isn't bad. It's just like
you're not the target audience. I got you.
Yeah, I'm not the target audience, and you can like watching it, you can tell you're not the target audience. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some things are just so obviously like a kid's thing. Like, oh, what shall we do next? Like, almost had like a Dora the Explorer feel to it. And I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
it's like, don't talk down to me. I have 2 degrees.
Well, it's real easy. If you sort by rated R, you're gonna get the shows that are made for adults.
Anyways, I also finished Sabrina the last season.
Did
that was good.
I can't remember if I finished Sabrina. I think I did. Yeah, I was watching alongside. We got to the end. What did you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I don't know. I felt like the ending was it got to the point where, like, I think you've mentioned it before with Magic, how it kind of like, they're like, oh, magic, and it fixes everything. That's kind of how it felt like with this last season. Like,
that's why I don't like superheroes, because it's magic, and it's just, we just have an Allspark. Oh, okay,
I mean,
cool.
like, the first 2 seasons were good, and, like, they definitely had to think it through, but this last season was kind of like, magic, time machine!
Yeah.
And then that was like how they
First
solved
off,
the whole everything.
They 100% stole that from Harry Potter. 100%. It was almost the exact same plot line. Second off, if you're in any setting with fantasy and there is time travel, that is the end-all technology, and you can solve all your problems with time travel, so use it all the time, always. And they don't. And they just think, we could do a time travel thing, and then all of a sudden it works. No.
Well, technically they can't do it anymore because he destroyed the time machine, basically,
how
in
convenient.
a sense.
If you listen,
that's another thing that bothered me. It was like,
if you have a time machine, defend that with your life. Like, dude, like, go, like, that needs to stay. That needs to exist. But honestly, if time machines ever, like, could ever possibly theoretically exist, we would already have them because somebody would just bring them back in time.
Yeah.
Unless
and the thing is, it's like
possibilities, I guess. That's all. Honky. What a load of hocus pocus.
And that's another thing that kind of bothered me too. It's like, you already went back in time. Why didn't you, like, stop this guy? Like, you already knew what he was going... Like, you already knew he was going crazy. Why didn't you... Like, you didn't type up all the scenes. Like, what?
Yeah, it's like the age-old saying. It's like if you had a time machine, like, go back and, like, kill Hitler before he, like, comes to power, you know? That sort of thing. It's like, go back and kill the director vampire guy before he's a director vampire, you know? But I guess they tried that in Terminator.
They didn't, like, because they stopped the pagans, but... It's like, you do realize that, like, he came and killed a whole bunch of people, and then the pagans killed the rest. Like, you only stopped one of them. Like, you didn't even think about the other guy.
What
You're
are
just
you doing here? What kind of operation
let me go
are
save
you
him.
running?
It's like you only took out one of the villains.
I'm shaking my head. Audience can't see it, but I'm very disappointed in this fictional TV show.
Anyways, I'm done. Well, I guess if they killed him off, they wouldn't have any villains for the next season.
Oh, is it not over? I don't remember.
No, he released something out from the egg. I think it's a dragon.
Oh, nice. Stealing from Game of Thrones then now, too. No, just kidding. Anyway, long story short, are you enjoying it? Did you enjoy it? Was it fun? I thought it was fun.
I enjoyed it up until, like, that point. Then I was kind of like... First, they started to kill everyone off, and I was like, okay. Now, like, at first, when they first killed off someone, I was like, okay, you know, oh, that's sad, that person died. And then, like, they started to kill off everyone. And then I was like, okay. Now we have a problem. Something's happening. Either it's a dream, or they're going to have to go back in time, or something like... After a while, it became too obvious that one of those two were going to be the solution. Like, whereas it would have been nice for it to be kind of like a creep up, like maybe like 1 or 2 people dying. Like, oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, keep the suspense
once everyone was starting to die, you're like, okay, obviously they're going to go, like, fix this somehow. And I'm not very impressed.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, we talked about the TV show Magicians recently too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's been a while, but yeah.
It has been a while.
I remember.
So, recently I was watching TV at Deanna's place, and we were, a commercial came on for The Magicians, and it completely, like, all of a sudden, like, something clicked in my head, and I was like, oh, that's 2 different shows, because I only half watch these, usually when I'm playing video games or something, but I was watching Sabrina, and I was, like, thinking in my head, like, where did that one guy go? And then I was like, where's that crazy guy that was like killing everybody? And then I was like, where's this other dude? I was like, I guess they must have died or like moved or something. And then I saw the trailer for Magicians and I was like, oh, it's 2 different shows. Of course, I'm dumb. Anyway, don't clip that audio of me saying I'm dumb and play it all the time because that would totally not be funny at all.
Okay. I'm dumb.
How would that audio right there? Anyway, all right. Media for me. Were you good on media?
I'm done.
I already talked about Apex. I haven't watched too much. We were gonna go watch a movie in theaters. I'm kind of interested in that 1917.
Sonic?
Huh?
Oh.
Nah, I'm not gonna watch.
I'm gonna go
Sonic.
see Sonic.
You're gonna watch. I've just had a whole spiel about not liking superhero magic stuff. I don't want a talking hedgehog that runs faster than the speed of light. My engineer brain will not be able to handle that movie. No.
I heard it's good, and I heard Jim Carrey's awesome.
I did actually hear some people talking to me in the chat. They're like, "Oh, the Sonic movie's really good. You got to go see it." I'm like, it's got Jim Carrey in it. I'm sure it is pretty good. And I mean, honestly, like they spent so much money reanimating the entire thing. It's got to be. It's probably one of those too big to fail kind of movies. I've also heard that like we as the internet need to support that movie because they spent a lot of money redoing it for us, the consumer, and we need to reward them and make it a success. But that being said, I didn't really complain about the first time. I didn't really care, and I don't know if I'll go see it. Might wait for that one to come out.
That's actually kind of partially why I want to go see it, is because they went and redid it because everyone was unhappy about it.
And you know, I'm being pretty harsh.
And Jim Carrey.
Yeah, and Jim Carrey. I did see the trailer, and it does actually look pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
So I'll throw the hedgehog a ring. But no, I was more interested in the World War I movie.
The video gamer doesn't want to see the video game in action.
I never liked Sonic. I never liked playing Sonic. I never liked Sonic or Mario. I don't really like platformers. I'm not good at them, and I don't like them enough to get good at them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like... Excuses. I don't like playing a video game. That's not an excuse. Anyway, I'd rather shoot
You're making excuses why you suck at them.
You make Sonic a first-person shooter, I might play it. That would be kind of cool. Imagine Sonic, but it's like Counter-Strike or something, but you could turn into a ball and zip around real fast. I guess it'd be kind of like Doom, minus the ball. Or I guess that'd be like Metroid would be the ball in the first-person shooter. Metroid Prime, of course.
I think if you did it try like first person, it would be more too similar to like say like Temple Run.
They actually did have. There is a big there's a third person Sonic 3D bunch of games, and it is kind of like Temple Run. The camera follows behind him, and you're running on big like things and gathering rings. It's exactly Temple Run.
Anyways, we should move on. So what's up with your media? Because we're like really far in.
I don't even know. Forget it. Let's move. Oh my gosh, we are so far in. Let's move on.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about our topic.
I don't remember any media well enough to talk about it.
Okay then. So what's our topic today, Jacob?
Our topic today, because it's wrapping up, it's the frigid season of winter.
Yeah. So why don't you start off, Jacob, because I have nothing to say about winter.
Winter. All right, let's talk about what is winter. Well, it's the fourth and
nice
final
stalling.
season.
Your stalling didn't work very well.
Yeah, no, I was typing something in a DM. I got distracted. I'm stalling for time still.
I could tell.
Speaking of winters and Stalin, Russia has a really intense winter. No. Stalin.
Don't you know?
Nah, it was a history joke.
Okay, fine. Okay, how about this, Jacob? Let's start off with a discussion. What is cold to you?
What is cold to me?
Temperature.
Okay, I'll preface this by saying that I'm from Florida. I was born in Miami. I have thin blood. I've usually got a jacket on if it's like 65 or below outside. I'm not going to complain until it reaches around 40, maybe the 30s. And honestly, I have grown, not that Georgia is all that cold, but I've grown to appreciate the cold, the crisp air, and I know how to bundle up and prepare for it. So as long as it doesn't catch me off guard, I'm actually pretty okay with the cold these days. But there are some people that are like, 30, that's not cold. It's not cold until it's like negative temperatures, and I think I've experienced like negative temperatures like once in my life. Talking Fahrenheit, like maybe once or twice in my life.
I don't think I've ever experienced negative. I think the coldest I've gone in is single digits, but never negative.
Yeah. I have this theory that anything below like 10 degrees Fahrenheit is all going to feel the same. You just die faster. I think that's that's about how it is.
For me, I think I'm about the same for you. More so here in California, I've kind of used to the warmer weather, so I'm kind of same with you. Like 65, I start to put a jacket on, and then anything around like 30. Sometimes it depends. If I'm stuck outside, 40 or 50, I will say is cold. But if I'm just kind of briefly going outside or whatever, it would have to be like 30.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of being cold, Randy and I were talking about it, and we're like, you know what? We'll have to make sure we properly dress for Japan, because it's going to be cold.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it will be
really cold.
That's true.
Because I think it snows there.
Yeah, I think it's a little further north than either of us.
So, I was telling him, I was like, if we do, we're going to have to, like, buy clothing, like, online.
Yeah.
Because my aunt and uncle, they went to New York. And so, the first time they went, they bought a whole bunch of warmer stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's warmer stuff for here. They got to New York and they were freezing. They had to buy new jackets in New York because it was cold.
That's
Their
funny.
jackets weren't really, they were more like look-wise and for like slightly colder weather, but not like actual cold weather.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I'm sure about the plan. Because I do tend to get cold pretty easily. But I will say...
I'm excited for when we go. Yes.
Where do you rank winter in your list of seasons? Is it way up there for you, or this is kind of a hard question because we're not like 10.
Yeah, there's only 4 seasons.
Yeah,
it's really hard to rank
I like them all on
like
their own,
you can rank them. Yeah, I mean, because you can rank one in 4th place, but still like it.
Yeah, that's hard.
Horrible.
Well, I would say, do you like winter?
I don't. The season I don't tend to like that much is spring.
Spring. I got no problems
Yeah.
against spring, but it seems kind of normal and boring. It's like
Yeah, I don't know. Like, see, like winter's not that bad. I enjoy it. I did enjoy summer, but now it's kind of like I think part of it's because at my work, like the AC doesn't work properly, and so like sometimes we're just working in the heat and it just sucks. And then you're like, I want it to be winter,
right?
And then you get to work and the heater doesn't work that well, and so
Yeah.
then you're like cold. But I have like these little like. We're not supposed to, but I have this little heater under my desk.
Shh.
And
Can't
so-
say this is on the record.
No, I don't. Anyways, if I did have a heater underneath my desk, it's a little like pocket kind of heater.
Yeah. So I feel like for me, I like winter. I like the idea of it. I was born in December, and there's a lot going on. Honestly, to be completely honest, there's too much going on in winter. It's way too busy, and it gets really stressful in December. So I don't really like the stress of it, but...
Technically, I'm a winter baby, too.
Ah, yeah, you are, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Another thing...
Barely.
Another thing for me is that I think about... So where I'm at is very temperate, and it doesn't really... We don't get a lot of snow, and all the trees still have leaves on them outside right now, even in the heart of winter. It's not really the heart, though. We're kind of coming out of winter.
We don't have trees here.
You don't have trees. We don't need oxygen. You guys don't have oxygen. You got smog.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We have adapted. We don't need oxygen no more.
Whenever I'm playing a video game or something, or like if I'm in Minecraft, I do not want to be in the snowy tundra, white and gray everywhere. And when I'm watching or playing like Skyrim or something, I do not want to be up in the snowy mountains. It's not an attractive landscape to me. I don't really like the colors. Although I like white and I like a lot of gray in my life, I find winter, it's too dreary for me. Like heavy snow, like just the blacks and the browns. I like it, but I think that if I lived in a place that it was like that all the time for like 3 months or even longer, I would probably get sick of it. And I think
the only thing that makes winter kind of attractive looking. That's weird. Attractive. I really. Oh, look at that! 1 out of 10, huh? What makes it like
would
appealing
you date
in
winter?
a way? Would you date winter? Only if it's sparkling in the sunlight.
Wow.
But no, when you see like a landscape of winter, what really draws it in is when it is kind of sparkling because of the snow and stuff like that, and it's reflecting the sunlight. I think that's the only thing that truly can makes it appealing, looking wise. But you don't really get that in games and stuff like that. You don't get that little kind of like shine to it.
Yeah, not quite like in real life, no. There might be like artificial like glimmers and stuff, but it's not like the same.
Well, I don't think their goal is to make it do that. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Like, their goal is to make it like, okay, here's like the snow and the white and the
Yeah.
colors and all that stuff.
Right,
But they're not thinking like, let's make it look beautiful. Let's
I think
add
they
that
very
little-
much are, though. I think a lot
Yeah?
of video game developers want their game to look kind of beautiful, depending on what game.
Well, I'm not saying like I'm saying like because you're saying like, oh, I don't like to go into like the snowy areas. I'm saying like they're not, their goal isn't to make that one look more appealing, like that
Yeah.
that biome.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, of course they're gonna make their game look beautiful. Period. I'm saying like they're not focusing on that one specific spot to be more than the other.
I think that's generalized. It like for instance in Skyrim, which I mentioned, it's very much a beautiful landscape. I just don't like it personally. Like there are
Oh, yeah?
mountains and
Okay.
stuff, and there's like magical creatures and things, and like massive skyscapes and stuff.
You're supposed to like winter. You're born in winter.
I know, and that's a great song by Gojira.
You're barely born in winter, by the way.
I'm born in like the middle of winter.
Winter starts December 21st.
Oh, does it? When
Google it.
does winter start? I'm fact checking you.
Good.
You nailed
Do you
it.
fact check?
You friggin' nailed it. Nice work.
And spring starts March 21st. Actually, this year it's March 19th on my birthday.
It's funny. I
But
guess
normally
I always,
it's the 21st.
I don't know why. I just always tend to think of winter starting around like December 1st.
You're thinking
but
of
it's
when
totally
it gets
not.
cold.
Yeah.
You're
yeah,
thinking
I
when
am.
it starts to get cold. But you have to think fall is technically when it starts to get cold.
Yeah, you're right.
And even though fall a lot of times it's still hot at the very beginning of it, it's not towards the end of fall that it starts to get cold. But
Yeah.
fall starts up September 21st, and December 21st is winter, and spring is March 21st. Though this year it's early. That's why I'm a winter baby, because usually it's on the 21st.
I haven't memorized any of those, and like I don't even know when daylight savings time starts and ends. I bet you know that too, don't you?
No, I don't know like daylight saving times.
All right,
And
fair
I
enough.
know summer starts June 21st.
I don't care about that. I've been out of school for so long. Summer break is just a myth now.
Yeah,
Summer
I
break,
don't
what's
know
that?
why I know the seasons. I just do. It's
Yeah,
just
fair enough.
one of my
I'm sure-
random facts that
I'm
I know.
sure like most of the people listening are like, wow, this guy's dumb. You put in that audio sample. I'm so dumb.
I'm gonna like make this little like jig, and then like anytime we say something stupid, I'm gonna add I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. I'm gonna add like this
Ah,
random
yes.
like sample every time we say something stupid.
Ah.
Oh no, it's gonna be our whole recording.
I never say anything stupid.
Insert I'm so dumb here.
Of course, I'm dumb.
I'm dumb, dumb, dumb,
I'm
dumb,
dumb.
dumb, dumb, dumb,
I'm dumb.
I'm dumb.
I'm dumb. Well, and it's nice knowing that this is my last episode here after I quit and start my own podcast. You guys can listen to Jake Talks. It's like,
Yeah, and you know how often that uploads?
it's gonna
Once
be
every
like
year.
every winter. Ay. All right. What else
Okay,
about
Let's
winter?
do our articles then, because
Okay,
it
yeah,
is
that'll
getting
prompt some
later,
ideas.
so we can do articles, and we might be able to finish. Let's do your favorite topic first.
My
that
favorite
article.
topic. Okay, let's do it.
Let's see if you can see which one it is. Can you guess? Can
Our
you guess,
articles.
Jacob, which one it is?
I think it's the top one. The biggest myth about warming up your car in winter is doing your ...
Yes. So this article is called "All of What Jacob Said
Is doing your engine more
Your
harm than
Engine
good.
More harm than good." I think this is interesting. I feel like maybe more research should be done, but I mean, it seems sound. It seems right.
Okay.
And by the way, this is by Jessica Orwig
Mm-hmm.
from ScienceAlert.com. I feel like I've been hurting my car this whole time.
Oh no.
Because I've been starting my car in the morning because I was like, I think I'm supposed to start my car when it's cold. It'll warm it up. And apparently, that is a very bad thing.
Okay, so I've got some stuff to weigh in. I'm skimming this article, and they're talking specifically about idling it.
hmm
I have heard that idling is bad on your car.
That's just when you start it up, right? And you're not moving it, you're not driving it. You just have it starting.
Well, it's like theoretically, like if you're at a drive-through or like modern cars. Okay, so disclaimer: do not do this if your car is not designed to do this because it will mess up your starter system, your electrical system.
Oh,
You'll fry it
God.
better. What I'm talking about now, which is that modern cars, you ever hear when a car like stops at a stoplight and turns off, and then as soon as they push the gas pedal, it starts up and goes? Modern cars are set up to do that, but that's the like best thing to do, because it's when your car's running, it's something to do with like there's no load on it, so it's just like spinning. I don't think it's as bad as people think, and it doesn't really make sense. Like I don't think it's that big of a deal, but it does add miles that you're not doing. If you're out there starting your engine and letting it warm up, isn't really getting the temperature. Okay, I'll read a quote from this. Idling isn't really getting the engine up to temperature, and until that happens, the little brain box on the engine is going to keep sending rich fuel mixtures to the cylinders. That means they're spreading in more fuel than air. Rich fuel mixture to the cylinders so that it can ensure that enough is evaporated for a consistent combustion event. The fastest way to warm up your engine is to use it, aka drive. And that's a good point. You don't really have to let it go sit up, unless you're trying to heat up your AC or your seats or something, but...
Yeah, but apparently it's bad to do, period, because like it even said somewhere along the lines that it can like damage your like cylinders or something like that.
Yeah.
What was it? I don't remember. Don't quote me on that.
But very importantly
quote this article.
But very importantly here, it says don't gun it. Be gentle with the gas pedal at first. And the reason is because it needs to warm up the oil, because there's a lot of moving parts in your engine, and you got to think about, you ever warmed up, you know how thick syrup is? Like pancake syrup, you know, when you warm it up, it pours out like almost like water. Mm-hmm. Oil is the same way. When it's real cold, it's gonna be real sticky, and it's gonna be hard to push through your engine block. So you're not gonna be pushing it into the little teeny tiny gaps that you need it to. So you want to go slow at first, and never spool a cold turbo. I'm guilty of that. I'll do that sometimes. I'll get in my car and the needle's still down real low at the low temps, and I'll be feeling spunky, and I want to make a light or something, floor it a little bit, but don't spool a cold turbo. And don't idle your car too long. Just give it a nice little drive.
And like this even says, like, scrape the snow and ice off your windows and your car will be ready to go. So start your car, scrape off all the ice and snow and all that stuff off your car, and then you're good to go.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan, champ. Good article. You're right. I like talking about cars.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to the next one real quick, and then we can go... this one might spark up some conversation, so this is pretty good.
This one fits right into the dreary atmosphere that I was talking about.
Yeah. So this article is called "Here's How to Make It Through the Winter Blues, According to Science" by, holy crap, I don't know how to pronounce that name. Jacinta.
I'm gonna have to guess it's Jacinta.
Jacinta.
But
Boiler.
I might be messing it up. I'm so sorry. Thanks for listening, Miss Bowler.
Yeah.
She's probably like, it's Bowler, and I'm just double wrong.
It probably is Bowler, actually. Maybe Bowler. That sounds awful. She probably prefers Bowler. Well, actually, I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, so this is also ScienceAlert.com. So yeah, it just kind of talks about the winter blues, how people tend to become less productive during the winter, and it talks kind of how to beat it, saying how you should try to go outdoors for at least an hour, keep up your social life, exercise more, and try to, to get over the winter blues. Talks about how some people go through, more depression symptoms during winter, and it's just, you hear about winter blues and kind of just seeing this, and even goes on to talk down at the bottom the different effects of weather has on a human behavior. And man, you look at it and hot weather has like all these different effects. And then cold weather has one, which is it says preference for romance. That's the human like
yeah, 'cause you're
effect.
cold and you want to snuggle.
So, and then you have like different like seasonal effects, extreme weather, full moon, increased crime rates.
Yeah, that's interesting, huh? I mean, I guess trends are trends.
But like hot weather, oh my god, hot weather, it's violence, gambling, increase in trust,
spike.
Birth rates, generosity. It's like all these different things, and then cold weather, just the one.
That's funny.
So yeah, go ahead and read all this if you guys are interested in it, but I just felt like it was a good kind of maybe a talking point with winter blues, Do you go through winter blues, Jacob?
I don't really notice it, but I think because I'm so busy, maybe I do and I'm not paying attention to it. I will comment that it says some people might suffer from seasonal affective disorder, also known as SAD or SAD, and I tell you what, I thought that was a joke in the office, because or maybe it was something else, where somebody said, "Oh, I have seasonal affective disorder. I'm sad," and I was like, "Is that a joke?" But no, apparently that's a real thing, and
Yeah.
I don't know that I like that acronym. Can't we name it something else? I mean, it's such a stretch. Such a stretch. I have seasonal affective disorder. It makes me sad.
You know, one of the things about that too is it's not necessarily means that you're sad. I don't think. Let me look it up.
You might not be mentally sad, but it might just be like you have... I mean, depression in general is more like you just have less energy and less motivation to do stuff. And overeating, too. Maybe just because you're bored or whatever. And realistically, I mean, let's say you want to go out and golf.
Okay, never mind. I was wrong. I was thinking that, like, because, you know, sash, everyone, like, think it as sad. I was like, well, it's talking about just seasonal effect on disorder, like, just your mood. And I was like, well, maybe, you know, it could mean happy. Like, summertime, you're happy. But no, it does go on, like I looked it up. It's like, it's more in reference to depressive symptoms, which include anxiety and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, because apparently summer does heighten anxiety.
I think it could do a lot with, like, maybe this is this might be an indirect cause, but imagine if you're an avid golfer and you like golfing, you golf every week, but now it's winter and you know you can't golf for 3 months because the golf courses are all snowed over and you can't play, so you don't get to do your hobby, and so you get a little sad. And that's a specific example, but it might be a lot of stuff like that. Like, I would imagine a lot of people are like, hey, do you want to go out? No, I don't want to get all bundled up, and I don't want to have to put on 10 layers of clothes. Let's just stay in and watch a movie.
That's what it says. It says, like, one of the things that causes the winter blues is the cold weather and the rainy weather, because apparently it rains a lot during the winter, which I think it does. It's raining here right now,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it's not...
It rained Saturday, so...
Yeah, if it's not... I mean, rain and snow is the same thing, just one's colder, you know?
See, rain does make me feel lazy. I don't ever want to do anything when it's raining. Rain does make me feel lazy, too. I like the rain. It's a very comfortable feeling because I get to be lazy and not feel bad about it. It's like, oh, it's raining. Exactly.
It's so nice.
I like the rain too, but I like it when I can stay home and be lazy.
Yeah, and I'm not very outdoorsy, so if I was an outdoorsy person, I would probably feel a little more. I would feel it a little more out in the winter, like fishing or whatever. It's kind of funny. So the SAT was formally described. I'm on the Wikipedia. Was formally described and named in 1984 by Norman E. Rosenthal. And I clicked on it just to see who would name it SAD, because I was joking about that acronym. And man, this guy, his picture popped up. I'm sending it to you right now in the chat. This man looks like the happiest dude in the world. He's just got this, like, he's got these, like, rounded rectangle glasses and, like, the male pattern baldness.
He looks like Dr. Phil.
He looks a little like Dr. Phil, but not quite. He looks a little nicer, I think.
He looks happy.
He just looks so happy. He's got, like, the perfect little smile on his mustache. That's a guy I'd like to know.
Anyways, guys. Okay, so I only have one, like, discussion thing left, and then I'm done. I don't know.
I don't have much more to say.
I didn't really have much. I guess winter isn't our favorite season, so we don't have much to say about it.
In, like, tangent for the last few episodes, so.
That's true. Winter is, like, there's so much with winter, but there's so many, like, holidays and all this other stuff that go into it, and so I feel like, yeah, like you said, we've been talking about it for, like, months. Whereas when we talked about, like, summer and fall, those are, like, they're not as, like, mentioned throughout the whole thing. Whereas when we're doing it and doing all these holidays, we're all talking about winter. Like, we probably could have done a big episode about winter, but it would have included, like, Christmas and New Year's and Valentine's Day. And, like,
realistically, why does winter feel so long to me? Like, I feel like you said, we did autumn, and that was one episode, and I feel like autumn just comes and goes. But, like, winter, it feels like it's been winter for, like, forever.
Well, I mean, it's the same way with summer. It's because, like, we expect fall and spring to be, like, neutral temperatures. And as soon as they're not, we're like, oh, that means it's winter now. Like when you were saying, oh, you felt like winter was... Because as soon as it got cold, it was winter, even though it was still technically fall. And the same with summer. Once it's hot, it's summer. And it's summer all the way until it's not hot anymore. And it's just normal neutral temperature. And once it's neutral temperature, you're like, oh, fall is here. Once it's like neutral temperature winter, oh, spring is here. And then it's hot, and you're like, oh, summer.
Well, actually, I'm looking this up, and it totally makes sense now that I think about it for more than 5 seconds. Here's a dense one for you. Orbital eccentricity and variation of season lengths. it is practically impossible for all of the seasons to be equal in length because Earth's orbit would have to be perfectly circular for that to be so. So yeah, it's not. And I'm trying to find out, there's like 5 graphs in my face right now, but it looks like that's the average of all. I'm trying to figure out which one's the longest, but these graphs are kind of hard to read. I'd have to study them. But yeah, they're not all the same length.
It probably also varies. I was going to say it probably varies depending on
where you are, too.
Yeah, where you are, and also just kind of the like time period, because I mean it's not perfectly circular, so eventually the rotation, I feel like the rotation would be off a little bit, slowly, so your seasons will be different.
Yeah. And it looks like it also changes on the year too. Like if you look at like thousands BC, it's a lot different than it is today.
Yeah. Anyways, so my last topic, which is your favorite winter activity.
My favorite winter activity. Okay, ignoring holidays, right?
Yeah.
Like what are we talking about?
Give me a couple examples. It used to be.
Mine?
What it used to be.
Roller skating? Ice skating?
Close. Yeah.
I would still hop on skates, I just haven't.
I think that's like my favorite winter activity.
I still gotta get part 3 of my root canal in March, so I'm looking forward to that. I've been stabbed. I've been stabbed in the gums like 6 times, 3 different days, 2 different days so far.
No.
Don't you know, don't bust your teeth out doing any sort of activity. My favorite winter activity.
I think mine is ice skating. I don't really do very many winter activities, I don't think.
I don't either, because I'm in Georgia.
So, I want to learn how to snowboard, and I think that would probably take the cake for winter activity.
That sounds a lot of fun. And honestly, I was watching somebody do something in a, I forgot what they were doing. It's some sort of skiing or snowboard. I feel like I would really enjoy skiing.
I don't want to do skiing.
You're not interested in skiing?
Just skiing. No, I'm not interested in skiing. I want to do snowboard.
I'm going to try both, honestly, but I feel like skiing would be more interesting to me. But yeah, I've never done anything like that, and I feel like they would be a lot of fun. I'm sure a lot of people do them. A lot of people do them, and I'm sure it's a lot of fun, is what I meant to say. I said do them. Yeah, I don't really know. I'm trying to think of like other things that happen. I don't know. I don't really have an answer.
Camping, snow.
I don't go camping in the winter.
Christmas lighting.
Yeah.
Going to check out, like, Christmas lights.
I think my favorite part of winter is wearing my fancy pea coat and maybe a scarf.
That's not an activity. Do that.
It is an activity. I get you dressed in my winter best. No, I don't know. I don't really have anything in particular. I think snowball fights sound pretty fun.
There you go.
Again,
that's
I don't
a
have
good
much snow
winter
now.
activity. Building snowmen. Do you want to build a snowman?
I do.
Oh, got copyrighted.
Yep.
Copyrighted. Dang.
Oh, no.
Now we owe money.
All my profits.
I remember that one year it snowed while we were in college, and every college student was out there.
So good.
It was like, what was it, like midnight, and we had all these college students playing in the snow going, do you want to build snowman?
We did. I did. So I had like, again, being from Florida and then living in Georgia, I don't see snow very often, but I feel like I did everything on the bucket list during that snow day.
Yeah.
We did. We sled down the big hill on cardboard, and some people brought out that big plastic table. We did the snowman. We did a snowball
Someone
fight.
brought out their mattress, man.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
Remember?
That's what it was.
No, well, they were snowboarding. I mean, they were sledding on boxes as well, and they were getting all tore up and like wet and soaked, and it just was a mess. We had a snowball fight.
Yeah, we
threw
did.
a snowball at your butt. Remember?
Oh yeah, kind of. Not really.
We have a picture.
Sounds about right,
on
though.
Facebook.
That was a fun time. I was gonna say that going back to skiing and snowboarding, I feel like I've never been in snow this deep, but like part of me wants to like cannonball into like 5 feet of snow. Can snow even get that high? I assume so in some places.
Oh,
but, like,
yeah.
It always
There's
looks
some
so
people
soft
who
and
like
powdery.
the snow covers their front doorway.
Oh yeah,
They
you're
can't
right.
get out their house. They get snowed in.
Right. Oh, that sounds crazy.
And you have to be careful with that much snow, though, because like apparently people's roofs will cave in because of the weight of the snow.
It's a lot of weight. Right. Yeah, it's very dangerous. And imagine it's winter and then your roof caves in and all of a sudden it's freezing cold and you can't get. Oh, that's a nightmare right there.
Well, shoot, you saw one winter it was really cold that people's like toilets and stuff were bursting. Like I think someone said like one of their toilets just straight up like cracked
Oh yeah.
in half.
I had it was that winter that it was really cold and we had the snow stuff. But I was living in that really, really cheap house that was like really old, and you could like see the ground dirt below the, like a few feet below the wood planks and stuff. And I only had that window unit heat me up. And yeah, my toilet bowl would freeze every morning. I'd have to like hold it until I got to school. And then, yeah, I was going to say, pro tip. If you're cold, you can get a glass jar, fill it with hot water, and hold on to it. A nice little way to keep some warmth in you. Toss it in bed by your feet. It's really good. So obviously, make sure you don't break it or whatever. Or spill it. I was doing it the other day. I'll use it for the snake sometimes too when I pull a snake out. And I just fill a hot water jar. But I laid it on this little couch next to me here. And like the next day, I came back and like, why is it all wet? And I was like, is this empty? And then I was like, oh no, the cap wasn't on all the way. I poured like almost it was like 1.5 liters of water onto this couch. Jacob. But it's an old couch that was donated by a lovely friend of mine. And very grateful. But I mean, it was just water. It evaporated. It was fine.
Don't you know to have your water running so your pipes don't burst?
Yeah, that's very important too. You know that, man. Freezing.
Don't have that much problem in California.
The cold is really tough. Like,
I remember pipes were bursting all the time on campus during the winter.
I don't think I ever had that.
Well, no, I don't know about any at the dorms. I just know like there was a lot of pipes around the buildings. Some buildings were always bursting.
Yeah.
And then they would have like little roadblock off saying don't go this way because there's water running everywhere.
Yeah, but the cold is brutal. Like, I always feel like, obviously you can die from being too hot and you can die from being too cold. But if I'm hot, you might be uncomfortable and you're sweating a lot. And you're probably going to be miserable. When you're too cold, you're actually like physically in pain. You know what I mean? And that's not, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with that. And then it breaks your house. It pops your pipes.
I prefer to sleep when it's cold though. So I sleep well during the winter.
Yeah, me too.
I don't sleep as well during the summer.
Unless you got your temperature cranked up too high and then you're sweating indoors and it's like,
oh yeah, I know. I have my vent closed because my aunt likes it warmer. And so I close my vent so I don't have the heat coming into my room so I can sleep at night.
One of the worst things about the winter, or just like alright, I won't be so dramatic. One thing I dislike about the winter is when you're outside, you're all bundled up. It's really, really cold. And you walk in and you got 2 shirts and a sweater and a jacket and another jacket. And you go into a place and you walk in and the place is 80 degrees because they've gone, oh, it's cold. We need to jack up the heat. Don't do that. Drop it to like 70. It's going to be a little colder than it is in the summer, you know, but like learn to like toughen up a little.
That's how you get sick.
I know.
It's the same way it's just the same way with during the summer though, because it'll be like super, super hot. So you go in and it's like freezing inside. That's how you get sick. It's the constant temperature change.
Yeah. Try and like move your temp up and down with the seasons, you know?
Yeah. I mean, your body is going to adjust to the temperatures. I mean, hopefully, you know?
My office is so warm. I'm like, it's winter, it's cold out, and I'm constantly sweating and smelly because it's so hot in my office.
That is one thing is to be careful of that. Like, when I was camping with my mom and stepdad, they were like, make sure you bring lots of changes of socks. It's because you'll sweat with your socks, and then at night, you need to change it or else it'll get really cold and now you're wearing like damp socks or you freeze.
One of the worst things, when it comes to camping and stuff like that, I've taken survival courses before, and one of the worst things you can do in a survival situation in the cold is to break a sweat. So when you're like making a shelter, chill out, go real slow, and you don't want to sweat if you're outdoors in the cold and you're surviving. Because as soon as you start getting sweaty, that's going to freeze on you and you're going to get a lot colder real fast. So the change of socks is really good. But, you know, my feet don't really sweat or stink that much. Hey, what do you know? We've come full circle.
Full circle! And my last thing is, even in the winter, I still sleep with the fan on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Because you got to get the air circulating, otherwise it gets stuffy. And
I need the sound. I can't sleep without the sound, man.
So I don't think you have a ceiling fan in your room. I think you've got a little box fan or something.
I got a box fan.
So I've got a ceiling fan in my room. And one thing I've heard that I didn't know, you know how some ceiling fans have that little black switch that'll switch the direction of the blades.
Yeah, it switches the direction. It changes the way that the airflow. It doesn't push down on you. It can push up.
Yeah, it's exactly that. In the winters, you want to push up because you don't want that cold wind blowing on you, but you still want the circulation. So you suck it up and you blow it at the ceiling, and it disperses it more. And that's what they're designed for, is for winter fan use. And when I heard that, I was like, that's really interesting. And then I've never done it because I stress out. I'm like, I got this old ceiling fan in there. If I change the direction, it's going to like burst into flames or something. It's not how it works. But
so the key also is you have to know which direction's going down first too. You can switch it and be like, you keep switching it, and then someone's going to come in and be like, why do you have your summer fan on when you should have it on winter? And you'll be like, what?
If you have a friend come in and ask you, why do you have your summer fan on? I would just be like, get out of my house, you nerd. Don't come back.
Okay, well, maybe they won't say it that time, but then they'll come back for the summer, and then you have your winter fan on. They'll be like, why did you switch it?
Go home, Dwight. Dwight Schrute. Too much Office. I'm watching so much Office recently. It's so funny. I really like the show. It's very entertaining, but I'm getting sick and tired of hearing the accordion intro and outro. It's like, I hear it in my sleep now, and I'm like, nobody really likes an accordion. You know? Sorry, any accordion player.
That's why Netflix is so important, because it skips through the intro.
Yeah, no, but you have to be like, you have to be quick. Like, otherwise you're gonna hear it. It gives you the piano. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. You have like 5 seconds to like run, find the remote, or you're gonna get accordion blasted. No, that's please. True. That's funny.
Well, I'm done.
Yeah, me too. On that bombshell.
Okay, and then we out. Bye, guys. No, just kidding. So thanks for listening to us. Don't forget to. Why am I saying don't forget? Oh,
it's funny. I don't really like
full circle.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I'm not crazy for the whole. Like obviously we got to do our social media stuff, but I don't like outros. I always like exit out of outros and YouTube videos. But you joking about not doing an outro, like I was like, wait, no, you have to do the outro. No, you have to do it, please. Thanks for listening. Twitter and email.
And you have to listen to our outro music, because I might add something at the very end. You never know.
Pro tip: stick around. Never know.
Never know. Don't you know? You never know.
Don't you know? You never know. Sometimes you know. Never's a big word. Never say never.
Never say never. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening to us. As Jacob said, our Twitter at Don't You Know Pod, and email is don'tyouknowpod@gmail.com. Send us some feedback, send Jacob some comments, tell him he sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, do it. Let me hear it. Knock me down a peg. My head's way too big recently. Got all this confidence. I'm making a fool out of myself.
He's got a girlfriend, and all of a sudden his confidence is through the roof,
I know,
man.
hot stuff. Yeah. I'm constantly having
I'm gonna have to have a talk with Deanna about this. She's building your ego up too much.
I know. She's always trying to knock it down.
Good.
I just
We're gonna get along great. We're gonna, you know what? Japan's gonna be awesome. We're just gonna be knocking you down pegs the whole time, right?
I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna use my flight
Team
ticket
up on
home
Jacob.
early. You all just have fun.
Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Again, I said this like 3 times already. Thanks for listening!
We also got a little, button that says, on Podbean. It's kind of cool. I click it.
You can.
I think I'm the only one.
Jacob does.
I'm the only one that likes
I think you are. We do have a lot of people listen to us, but I guess they just don't like us because they don't ever like it. But you know what? They might like it on Spotify. I can't tell. I can't see how many followers we have on Spotify or how many people like our stuff.
Wow, we pay for that app. I love that. The paid app has less features, and I still gotta listen to ads. And all right, I'll be quiet because we don't want to get blocked from Spotify.
What? I pay for Spotify, and I don't have any ads. You getting gypped?
I don't pay for Spotify. I will never give them $1.
Okay, then shut your mouth then. Shut your mouth then. I love Spotify and I love paying for it, so...
You're a tool, and you're being used, and they've got you by the hairs at the back of your neck, is where I was going with that.
I'll have you know, I got a free Google Home.
Wow, alright, fair enough.
Well, not really free because I pay for it every month, but apparently one year they did...
You pay for a Google Home every month? What is that? I didn't know that was a subscription thing.
No, I pay for Spotify every month, so... Oh. The fact that I got that Google Home.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I gotcha.
I guess technically I kind of pay for it.
I gotcha.
But also 1 year, apparently, they did Hulu for a year for free, too. So they give you stuff every once in a while. But I really enjoy it, and my family does, too. So I pay for the family plan.
They give me a headache and a big pain in my neck anytime I turn it on. All right, enough complaining. You're getting me riled up.
We're gonna go on for another hour.
I know. Next week's episode, I'm gonna dog the platform that you're listening to us on.
Okay, he got Spotify. Next is gonna be Podbean. Next is gonna be Apple Podcasts. He can't do nothing about Apple Podcasts. He don't even have an Apple product.
I like Podbean. I mean, I had never really listened to it before you said we were on it, but it's pretty good. I listen to other podcasts on there now too. It's a nice little app.
We also have a YouTube.
And we do have a YouTube too. I use YouTube more than anything else. I'm thoroughly addicted to YouTube. They've got me by the back of my hair as well. Just completely.
We have a new series, Don't You Draw.
Oh yeah.
Gotta do some comments.
They're pretty
Jacob
cool. If
puts
you guys,
lots of comments in the videos.
if you're listening and you haven't seen our YouTube channel, we do have some. I think they're pretty funny videos. Actually, I really enjoy any time we do a video and little activities.
Ooh, our next one's gonna be coming up soon because it's the end of the month. Nice. I'll have to do one for March.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna work because I'm gonna have to find another video editing software because I was using Final Cut Pro, but I was having a trial. Trailer.
I can probably find you something. I think there are other ones that are similar, like open source. There's a website you can find that's like, I forget what it is.
Yeah, I have used it, and one of the closest one is like Open Video Source or something like that.
You know what I'm talking about.
I didn't like it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't like that one. I really prefer my Final Cut Pro.
Yeah, I mean it is like the professional. Like when I was working in ESPN broadcast, they were doing that's what they used. That and Final
Adobe
Cut.
Premiere.
Yeah, Premiere as well.
Yeah, when you gotta think about it, I did 4 years in college, and I used Final Cut Pro all 4 years. I
forgot you literally have a degree in this. So you know more about it than I do.
Yeah. So I'm very familiar with Final Cut Pro.
Yeah.
So when I use other video and apps, I'm kind of like, I could do this. Oh wait, I can't do it in this one, or I don't know how to do it in this one, and I look it up, and I'm like, it's like you have to do like all this extreme stuff to do the one thing that Final Cut Pro does in one step.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I use Microsoft Word. I live in Microsoft Word at work, and I've got Open Office Writer that's the open source version on my home computer because I don't have it on my home computer. And I'll try to do stuff, and it's a very good program, the open source one, and I like open source and I support them and everything. But I don't support them. I use them for free. That's why I like them. but I like that you guys are doing what you do. But it's just not as powerful as Word, and so I'll be doing things and saying, oh my gosh, what a headache. Why can't I just push this button?
So if Final Cut Pro wants to give me a free copy, I'll do all types of reviews for you guys.
Oh yeah, hey.
Oh, come on, Final Cut Pro.
We like sponsorships. Anyway, all right, moving on.
Okay, so thanks for. I'm gonna leave a link for YouTube as well.
Oh yeah,
so you guys can check that out. Because we also. I think I'm gonna start a new playlist for our Don't You Know specials that we did because I was trying to show my friend the one where we did with the Supernatural one, and I had to search through all of our videos because we don't have a playlist for that.
Yeah, that's a good idea doing the playlist.
So gonna do that one. And then, of course, we have Rocky Doesn't Game.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe eventually we'll do Apex, because apparently Jacob plays Apex all the time and doesn't invite me.
I don't actually. Well, so it's tough because it's hard to play a 3-person game when you have 2 brothers or with other people. I've got another friend, we're actually the one who donated his chair. We play every once in a while, but usually if I'm playing with my 2 brothers, and it's like, feels bad, but it is fun to play with different people too.
Don't you know, Jacob? You have to carry the team, man. You got to carry the team. You need the team that needs to be carried.
You don't understand. You can't carry when the other guys have 3 people that are carrying the team. If the team would carry themselves.
Jacob, I just shot you. I'm sorry.
There have been so many audio peaks. This is going to be a nightmare to edit. I'm so sorry. I just keep shouting.
Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Deuces.
Of course, I'm dumb.